So, tell the people who's Cam.
Who is Cambatta? Cambatta is a spiritual entity encapsulated in a human form that was manifested into existence July 21st, 1987 in New Haven, Connecticut. That is in the Cancer constellation. I'm a moon water sign, crab. I was born of a Native American father, African American mother, a father who was proficient in physical things. He was into carpentry. He was amateur bodybuilder, physique type dude. Strong, very smart, attached with, very into nature. Fortunately, I didn't grow up with him though, so I grew up with a single mother who was probably one of the most artistically expressive humans I've ever met in my life. She's a visual artist, a singer, dancer, actress. Grew up with a heavy background of African arts, culture, because my grandfather made many visits to Africa, West Africa, Nigeria, etc. Came upon self-knowledge. And really, somehow, spiritually, that resonated down to all of his kin, including me in some aspects. Initially, I was into, whatever my parents were into musically. Soul music, R&B, old school, fucking all the greatest, so it was basically just soul music, R&B, neo soul type deal. It wasn't until I heard Big L, Biggie Smalls, DMX primarily that I started really exercising rap, and it came second nature. It was never really a struggle, and I believe it's because the basis of my genius is in linguistic expression, my ability to take what's in my head and creatively express it outwardly through words and sounds. And it's been like that since I was a kid. Earlier, people thought I should be an actor or a comedian. Rap being the most verbally expressive form of music immediately hit me. I started freestyling rapping when I was 9, 10 years old. Didn't really start writing until I was 15. In high school. That's when I adopted the name Cambatta.
Was the name of your first clip?
The name of my first rap group was Gang Green. And it was comprised of 4 other rappers throughout my high school. Excuse me, the drug got me going. And I came up with the name Cambatta basically. It sounds a lot more complex than earlier, before I really got into hip hop. My uncle, shout out to Uncle John, was a hip hop dancer, break dancer, pop locker and shit. He had a group called Electric Function. And one of his videos, I'll never forget. I mean, it's so engraved in my head. I must have watched it 1,000 times as a kid. There was a song. It was. And that's, I believe that's Planet Rock, Africa Bambaataa, or the other one. But he used to pop lock to these Africa Bambaataa songs, and Bambaataa just. That name just always stuck with me, and like they had the dopest pop locking beats. Like their production, their influence on hip hop was monumental. So when I was 15, people used to call me Killer Cam because my name is Cameron. You know what I mean? But obviously there's a Killer Cam already in existence. So I was writing a rap to Joel Santana Town. He was like, I'm old school like Bambaataa, no man's hotter. And I rewrote it, and I was like, my name's Cam, that rhymes with Bam. I'm old school like Cambatta, no man's, whoa, epiphany. It came upon me. I immediately stopped. I was like, this makes sense in so many ways. It's an earlier influence on my uncle, me. My uncle being a prominent male figure in my life because my father wasn't there. So all of those things kind of tied in to the creation of Cambatta. Eventually, rap became everything. It surpassed everything that was previously in my mind. So I then moved from New Haven, Connecticut to Florida in pursuit of learning how to do audio engineering at a school, technical school that, you know, all they really did was rob me of money and show me that this is something I can do without school. You know, so I quit school, obviously. And since then, it's just been me, you know, with my slow progression, my slow but progressive progression into trying to take my art, my abilities, and share them with the world, eventually monetizing them and trying to maybe accrue some wealth and some fame in the midst of it, just so I can solidify my name, my family, and also spread this knowledge, spread this gift, spread this word, you know, that I extrapolate from the cosmos.
So when did you come into knowledge of self?
When did I come to knowledge of self? Give me a second here. It wasn't until I was 23, I would say. 23 going on 24, approximately around 2011, April, May, is when the spark was really lit. And that's because I moved from Tampa, where I was working every day, rapping on the side, moved to a smaller town, located directly next to the water, in a house in Dunedin, Florida, which is actually where we're reporting at right now, this porch. It's where I made the meeting with this porch. Upon making the meeting with the porch,
Smoke and Mirrors 1.
Smoke and Mirrors 1. This was the main motivator for Smoke and Mirrors 1. And this right here, this marijuana, I didn't start smoking until I made contact with this porch. Some told me I had to teach myself how to smoke marijuana because all the artists that I ever came in contact with smoked, and they were like, bro, like, you're rapping like this and you don't even get high? Like, how are you doing this? You know what I mean? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, every time I tried to get high before that, like, it was a failed attempt, like the smoke, the hot, the heat, whatever, it was just way too harsh. It was just like this unnatural process. And I couldn't really imagine what it would be like to be high, so I didn't really miss it. Once I started understanding the beautiful marijuana and what it does to calm and silence your mind in the attempt to get meditative creativeness, once I made that connection, from there on was my pursuit of not only understanding the psychedelic esoteric world, but also understanding the exoteric in a more introspective way. From there I started, not only did I start mixing with Mike Pine, the Uncommon Shaman himself, but I also came upon mushrooms, LSD, psilocybin, mescaline, DMT, Terrence McKellar, Alan Watts, Philip Valentine, the whole Black metaphysics community. Started reading audiobooks feverishly. I still do every night. I mean, I go through dozens and dozens of books. And the pursuit of knowledge, and it was sparked with the marijuana and the porch. And from there on, that's what really sparked the motivation for me to gain self-knowledge.